5th June, World Environment Day, stands as a powerful reminder of our shared responsibility towards environmental stewardship and sustainable innovation. On the 5th of June 2025, to mark this important occasion, the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, organized a special event titled Tattva, symbolizing transforming emissions, air, rising temperature, water availability through climate actions. Dr. Anita Gupta, head CEST DST, in a welcome address said,
"We need to conserve what our children deserve." So that's the overarching message. What are we going to leave for our future generations, given the precious gift our nature has given to us, which is our environment. But due to human activities, as we all know, rapid industrialization, urbanization, deforestation are all contributing to the havoc of global warming. And as a consequence, we often witness the instances, the frequency and the ferocity of extreme weather events. And we also have the, you can say, intermittent weather patterns. So weather patterns have shifted. These are some of the consequences. But there is a hope that for this shared purpose and vision, collectively, we can really contribute and come out with climate action. And globally, there have been multiple platforms like COP and another platform, Mission Innovation, which PM had coined this term, to really enable more than 23 countries take charge who are the largest emitters of CO2. And as we all know, collectively we are adding every year close to 53 gigatons of carbon dioxide equivalent to the atmosphere. And that's why we have our responsibility to really come out with low carbon pathways to avoid the carbon emissions. We have already have the goals for 2030 laid out in the form of NDCs, and where we have to balance our economic development as a fourth largest economy. At the same time, we have to aspire to be a Viksit Bharat by 2047 and then overarching ambition to be net zero by 2070. In that scenario, Department of Science and Technology has been taking multiple activities as a pro-planet programs, policies and partnerships, not only cater to various adaptation strategies, but also on the mitigation front. As you know, Tattva in our Indian mythology actually symbolizes the foundation and very existence of our being. These are building blocks of our universe. So whether it's earth, water, air, fire, space. So we need to be really responsible. And when action need to be taken, because given the crisis which is looming large, and we are all witness to that, so time is now. We need to take action immediately to really deal with this kind of crisis. In Hindi, it is said, "Jab dhara hi nahi hogi, to sab dhara reh jayega." So we owe a lot to this planet Earth. And let us also rewrite some of the well-known principles. It is said CSR, corporate social responsibility. So let it be citizens' social responsibility. Our PM has already laid out the foundation of Mission Life, which is lifestyle for environment. So as responsible citizen, organization and a nation, we all owe collective responsibility to our Mother Earth. We also, as a part of circular economy, you might have heard of EPG, Extended Producer Responsibility. It should also be treated as another EPR is Environmental Protection Responsibility. And last year during World Environment Day, our PM launched a new campaign, Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam.
Life, LIFE, यानी लाइफस्टाइल फॉर एनवायरमेंट. आज जरूरत है कि हम सभी लोग एक साथ आकर कलेक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन के साथ लाइफस्टाइल फॉर एनवायरनमेंट यानी लाइफ को एक अभियान की तरह आगे बढ़ाएं.
In our delegate kit, we have brought for each one of you one tree sapling, and we will urge upon to take back that sapling, plant it, nurture it with love and care. So that's our message I wanted to give.
India, under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is forging a path towards sustainability, urging every citizen to act. India has pledged to derive 50% of its energy from non-fossil fuel by 2030 and achieve net zero emission by 2070. Spearheaded by our Honorable PM, Mission Life Lifestyle for Environment is a global movement for mindful living. Small actions like turning off taps or using LEDs can reduce emission by up to 20%. From 100 million toilets to clean cooking for all, our collective behavior is reshaping the future. 400 million tons of plastic are produced annually. half is single-use. Microplastics now pollute our food, water and air. Let's refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle and rethink. Every step we take fuels progress for a sustainable tomorrow. DST is committed to climate action driven by research and innovation. Together, as pro-planet people, let's build a Viksit Bharat where sustainability secures our planet's future.
After Mission Life video, 7 Mission Life pledges were administered by the guests and the audience.
To end the plastic pollution, I will carry my own water bottle wherever possible. I will use recycled paper products. I will use cloth bag for shopping instead of plastic bags. I will use steel or recyclable plastic lunch boxes and water bottles. I will opt for bamboo toothbrushes and neem combs. I will set printer defaults to double-side printing. I will keep temperature of air conditioners to 24 degrees. I will switch off appliances from plug points when not in use. I will donate old clothes and books. I will take the stairs instead of an elevator wherever possible. And I will plant trees and help keep the earth green.
A compendium on clean coal technologies, executive summary on technology need assessment on decarbonization in India, and Mission Innovation India website and CEST video were also released. Some environment-friendly new projects, for example, recovery and recycling of solar PV modules, urban climate, Indo-Danish projects on green hydrogen, announcement of Indo-Dutch Hydrogen Valley Fellowship Program partnership, Indo-Dutch HVFPP, and call for proposal on Griha Cool. Grid-responsive sustainable heating and cooling of buildings were also launched.
From extreme weather to vanishing biodiversity, climate change is a critical and immediate global threat. India too faces alarming signs, erratic monsoons, relentless droughts, and blistering heat. In response to this growing climate emergency, DST is leading 2 national missions, one to safeguard the fragile Himalayan ecosystem and another to build India's strategic knowledge and foresight in climate change. DST has not only empowered institutions across the country, but has also nurtured a strong community of researchers in climate action, clean energy, and water innovation, laying the foundation for a resilient and self-reliant India. At COP21 in Paris 2015, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi launched Mission Innovation, a global push for clean energy breakthroughs along with other world leaders. Today, it unites 23 nations and European Union working to make clean energy affordable and scalable. In the past decade, DST has nucleated several impactful programs in energy, water, climate, and decarbonization, fostering academia, industry, startups collaboration, and setting up state-of-the-art research facilities and test beds. Technologies developed in labs like solar energy, smart grids, heating, cooling solutions, hydrogen, clean coal, alternative fuels, and CCU are now being tested on the ground across India. From Ladakh to Kerala and Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat, these DST-led innovations are reaching both urban and rural communities. DST is leading India's approach in mission innovation through the dedicated verticals in clean hydrogen, urban transition, green-powered future, carbon dioxide removal, zero-emission shipping, integrated biorefineries, and net zero industries. Through joint R&D and cross-border collaborations with Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, UK, USA, and World Bank Ahead program, India is fast-tracking clean energy solutions and fueling Make in India and shaping a sustainable future. During last year, under the stewardship of Modi 3.0 government, DST has created a new division, Climate, Energy and Sustainable Technology, CEST. The division has rolled out several pioneering initiatives and is nurturing the concept of living lab in green hydrogen and CCU. New research initiatives have been launched in urban climate, methane mitigation, component manufacturing for EV startups, advanced energy storage and recovery, and recycling of end-of-life solar PV panels. As the world's 4th largest economy, and a strong voice for the global south, India is leading a sustainable and inclusive energy transition. With impactful programs and meaningful partnerships, DST is turning vision into action, building a clean, green and self-reliant future for a Vikasit Bharat. Let's all take a resolve to lead the pathways for sustainable development.
His Excellency Rasmus Christensen, the Ambassador of Denmark to India.
Over the years, Denmark and India have developed a very strong partnership. We have a green strategic partnership where we're working closely together to develop solutions to address global challenges, especially in relation to energy and climate. And in that context, research and innovation are really among the key drivers of our collaboration. And over the past years, Denmark and India have launched a series of joint research calls under the Indo-Danish Science and Technology and Innovation Agreement, and we just launched another batch today. And these critical calls have focused on areas of mutual interest such as renewable energy and green fuels, important areas for building sustainable societies. I was happy to see just a minute ago the launch of the Mission Innovation website for India. In my previous job many years ago, and we saw the little video from Paris in 2015, I was involved in the discussions about the establishment of Mission Innovation. And I remember back then there was a very heated discussion between Bill Gates and Michael Bloomberg around the role of research and innovation in fighting climate change. Bill Gates, on his behalf, sort of highlighted the need for breakthrough technologies to combat the climate crisis. And he argued for the need for upscaling funding for emerging technologies. On the other hand, he emphasized that we perhaps need to focus more on the incremental innovation of existing climate-friendly technologies to get scale and lower costs. And I think if you look back on that discussion now, 10 years later, I think we can all agree and realize that perhaps both were right. We of course need to focus on new technologies, but we also need to focus on continuously innovating them and bringing them to scale. And with this in mind, I'm particularly happy about the Indo-Danish joint research calls, because these calls, not just about generating new knowledge, they are in fact designed to convert ideas to applications that can move beyond the laboratory to industrial scale, and thereby support sustainable development and our shared commitment to global climate neutrality. In a partnership between the Innovation Fund Denmark and India's Department for Science and Technology, we announced a call back last year on cutting-edge hydrogen technologies, and the focus of that call was on projects that convert renewable energy into clean fuels, particularly for sectors like maritime transport and heavy industry, where low-carbon alternatives are more limited. So what does that mean in practice? I was in Mumbai, in the harbor, for the name-giving of a new container ship built by the Danish shipping giant APM Maersk. And it wasn't just any container ship, it was actually one in a series of new methanol ships that is running on clean fuels. And mind you, it's not a small ship, it's a massive container ship running on clean fuels. So this means that demand for clean fuels are already there, but we still need to scale up production and make it less costly. And that's also why we need more research into this area. So in our latest research call on clean fuels, where we announced the winners today, we had 15 very strong proposals that were submitted for review. And today we announced 6 innovative projects selected for funding. So these projects aim to develop technologies exactly that can be scaled and used commercially, and therefore helping not just India and Denmark, but the whole globe to move closer to our decarbonization goals. Certainly Denmark remains committed to the partnership with India and working closely to develop solutions that can benefit the global community as a whole. And as we celebrate World Environment Day, I think it's important to recognize that partnership like ours are essential for achieving these long-term goals of carbon neutrality, of energy security and sustainable growth. Finally, let me just express my appreciation for the excellent cooperation with the Department of Science and Technology. I think together we are showing that collaboration can turn ambition into action.
Her Excellency Marissa Gerard, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to India, in her special address said,
I think it's something, on the one hand, so simple. Let's change all our lifestyles. And if you are with 1.4 billion people, I think if everybody is doing the things that we just pledged to do in this wonderful one-pager, it does make a difference. And I think also for us, the Dutch, 17 million only, but if we do all this, I think it will make a difference. And I was studying it and I thought, I'm doing pretty good. And for example, to use the cloth bag, I think it's very interesting. I'm doing it as well because I have quite some discussions. When I take my cloth bag, then they still put it in plastic first and then put it in my cloth bag. I keep on discussing with them and say, no, not to plastic, just a cloth bag. So I'm also your PR officer, I think, for this one pledge. I'm not so good on the bamboo toothbrushes, but I will try and do it. And I think to take the stairs instead of the elevator. I'm good up to 2 flights of stairs. And then I must commit I have to do a little bit more exercise. But let's see. Now, thank you so much for taking the pledge. We did it also last year with the whole embassy team because we took the metro. We were doing this together with the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation. And actually, we talked to different people who were taking the metro. And we said to them, we have to congratulate you. Thank you so much for taking the metro. It is actually really making a difference for the city. And we had wonderful discussions with them, and we were taking the pledge together. So that is something that is a good memory for me and for my team, I think, that we did that last year. And maybe something that we can offer, but I'm losing my Danish colleague here, but I know that the science counselor is still with us, because something that we have to offer as the Dutch and as the Danish is using your bike more often. So we are already advising the Bhutanese government on that, and we would love to work together also on taking the bikes. I think we had Bicycle Day yesterday. We had our science counselor together with our health counselor on the bicycle in Old Delhi. So that's something on the pledge. Then on India and the Netherlands. I mean, we go back a long way, especially with DST. You were India the first country for us, and this was how many years ago? 16 years ago, when we started our technology and innovation cooperation. So that's very, very important for us and dear to us as well. Now we are on the verge of actually establishing a strategic partnership between our two countries. We will establish this strategic partnership. And in the strategic partnership, there is a broad, many different areas where we work together, but you can see that common denominator, the backbone of our partnership, it's always innovation and it's technology. And that's where we come together today, because in technology and innovation, I think we can solve a lot of problems. So DST, as I said, we have our MOU, we go back a long way, we have our Dutch partner, NWO, the Dutch Organization for Scientific Research. We did already over 50 large research programs together, because we always team up, it's always co-financing, and we're better together. One on one, it does actually make three. We have our WA agenda. The WA agenda stands for, in Hindi, saying great, but also for water, agriculture, and health, because these are three areas where innovation really makes difference. We work together on waste management. We also have a program there on innovation with Dutch companies, with NGOs. We have a program together on water, a strategic partnership, very close to my heart, because one of my first visits here was to the Sundarbans, where I stayed for 2 days in the Sundarbans with different experts, seeing what was happening actually in such a delta, and also visiting all the communities and see, how they were surviving. And I was absolutely stunned by their resilience, but also by their creativity on how they were dealing. But most of all, I was also learning about nature-based solutions. And I still think that is actually something that we should do more with. So water, it's not only on delta management, but it's also on recycling and on cleaning the water and the rivers as well, where we work together. That innovation, DST, by the way, also with DST, we work together on 3 projects focusing on water disaster management that were launched in 24. So it's also something that brings us together. Now, maybe last point on the agenda, but very, very important, and that is, of course, our special program that we launched just now, the hydrogen program. One of the solutions to decarbonize our economy is green hydrogen. It's something that both our countries are working on very closely together. India has the potential to become an exporter. We have this huge port of Rotterdam where we can actually deliver to the whole continent, and so we can become the import hub for green hydrogen. We complement each other, but we also need each other. And development of green hydrogen system, it comes with challenges. We're still trying to find out how it can work best. We have to bring down the costs of its production, and we not only need to scale up, we also need innovation to do so. To foster this innovation, we have a valley in the northern part of our country, a green hydrogen valley, which was even recognized as the Hydrogen Valley of the Year in 2022. Made me very proud when I read that. But India being a big country, you have 4 of these Hydrogen Valley innovation clusters. And last November, we invited officials from government as well as from academia to visit our Hydrogen Valley in the northern part of the Netherlands to really exchange, work together, and see how we can do more. Now, one concrete result was this fellowship program called Empowering Green Hydrogen Leaders of Tomorrow. It's a valley-to-valley fellowship program. It's designed to invite Indian researchers to come to the Netherlands, to give them hands-on experience in one of these European hydrogen ecosystems. We work together, as I said, with the University of Groningen. They will also mentor these selected teams. We're thinking of having 30 Indian academics, PhD candidates, postdoctoral researchers to invite them and to work with them. And let me just mention mention real quick to you the 3 goals before I conclude. First one is to create skilled hydrogen workforce, both in the Netherlands and in India, through this program. Second one is to develop new hydrogen technology that is relevant for both our countries. And the third one is to strengthen, of course, our bilateral research collaboration and to foster these long-term Indo-Dutch scientific partnerships.
Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary, DST.
As you know that the Department of Science and Technology is not the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. We have a separate ministry, but we are one of the very important ministry which is nurturing R&D programs and innovations in the entire ecosystem. And in that context, therefore, our Clean Energy and Sustainable Technology Division has been driving many R&D programs and missions. We are the part of the National Climate Missions, and under that mission, we are not only participating in sustaining Himalayan ecosystem, but also in the mission for developing strategic knowledge for the climate change. Now, under these 2 mission mode programs, we have created centers of excellence, R&D projects, mobility programs, and so on. As also the ambassador mentioned, in our other programs like green hydrogen, we are now setting up the green hydrogen innovation clusters. In our programs on carbon capture, utilization and storage also, we are setting up the pilot test beds, and in fact pilot test beds in collaborations with the industries in the public-private partnership mode as well. In terms of these climate action and the clean energy programs, we are strengthening our cooperations with international partners because we believe that to address these global challenges, all of us on this earth, we have to work together to find challenges which not only address our problems but also the problems of our other nations and the other countries as well. And in this context, therefore, I am delighted that we are having very strong collaborations with our Dutch partners and also the Danish partners, not only in terms of universities, as we mentioned, University of Groningen, but also in terms of several R&D labs and the industry as well, which are coming together. I hope that with what, our Prime Minister has given this clarion call of Mission Life, we will be able to unite the entire world together in addressing the problem of the global climate change. Another thing that I would like to mention that in terms of the R&D programs, while we have built strong partnership with universities and R&D labs, we would also like to develop and nurture an ecosystem of startups and technology partners which can actually convert some of these, R&D ideas into actions which can be deployed at wide scale on the ground and affecting the society. And in this context, therefore, the CEST division has launched also several programs for supporting startups. Recently, we announced evolution programs for supporting startups in the EV areas, and also we are working with other ministries' startup development programs to see that we have a synergy in the overall ecosystem of green energy, electric vehicles, sustainable technologies, and so on. In the Department of Science and Technology, we are committed to enhancing our research in climate and sustainable technologies, and whatever we can do with our national universities and international partners, I hope that in the coming years we will be able to develop impactful solutions which can be deployed and bring a positive change towards mitigating the problem of climate change.
With a focused and collective initiative targeted towards climate change, clean energy transitions and sustainable technologies, CEST, this event aims to highlight some key steps being undertaken by the Indian scientific research and startups community and bring them to spotlight. Chief guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Independent Charge, in his video keynote address, remarked,
We gather here to celebrate the World Environment Day, a day that reminds us of the incredible beauty of our planet and the responsibility we owe to protect it. Mother Earth provides us with everything that we need: clean air to breathe, fresh water to drink, fertile land to grow food, and countless natural wonders that inspire and enrich our lives. And yet, we often take these gifts for granted. Pollution, deforestation, climate change, biodiversity loss, all these factors threaten the balance of nature. India, under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has emerged as a global leader in climate action. Don't forget, at COP26, Honorable Prime Minister Modi introduced the Panchamari strategy outlining India's ambitious climate goals, which are 500 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel energy capacity by 2030, 50% of energy requirements from renewables by 2030 again, and reducing total projected carbon emissions by 1 million tons by 2030, cutting carbon intensity by 45% by 2030, and finally achieving net zero emissions by 2070. And under the able leadership of Prime Minister Modi, India is aligned with the nationally determined contributions and also is advocating for sustainable living practices through Mission Life, which stands for Lifestyle for Environment. Also, as a combating climate change through a collective responsibility of every individual, India today advocates sustainable development at various international platforms, whether it be G20, BRICS, etc. And we have been discussing clean energy, climate finance, and resilient community, as well as infrastructure. India has also launched the Global Biofuel Alliance, promoting 20% of ethanol blending in petrol to boost clean energy transition. And this underscores India's leadership in the sector of renewable energy, ranking among the top 5 in installed capacity. The Department of Science and Technology under the Ministry of Science and Technology is leading 2 national missions. A, the National Mission for Sustaining the Himalayan Ecosystem, which protects the fragile Himalayan environment, and B, the National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change, which aims to strengthen climate research and knowledge sharing under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. The Department of Science and Technology is also heavily investing in the development of infrastructure in academic institutions to carry out good standard research. Establishment of second I-SCORE research facility of the country at the University of Kashmir, high-end computing facilities, automated weather stations, etc. Some of the instances and examples. The Department of Science and Technology is also playing a major role in human capacity building in climate change science by empowering youth and the next generation of climate researchers. And I'm also pleased to share with you and also to note that IIT Mandi, which is DST supported incubator, is also catalyzing and supporting startups through its flagship program called the Himalayan Startup Trek, which is contributing in providing innovative solutions for the unique challenges of the Himalayan ecosystem. Similarly, I am also pleased to share with you that the DST as a unique initiative has launched a special call to support research in urban climate and in extreme events. On the climate mitigation front, the DST is spearheading some pioneering research in decarbonizing industries and also promoting clean energy. The DST has also launched several initiatives, not only at the national level, but also at the international level, which include the Hydrogen Valley Innovation Clusters, HVIC, the Carbon Capture and Utilization, the CCU technologies in the power sector and the cement industry. The CCUS, which I mentioned, encourages frontier cross-border collaboration with mission innovation countries and other European countries, like for example the United Kingdom and Sweden, to foster international knowledge exchange and joint innovations in the field. Similarly, many of our CSIR labs, like IICT, like NCL, like NEERI, like NIIST, like IIP, etc., are working in the area of decarbonization, clean and renewable energy, green hydrogen production, waste-to-wealth technologies, building materials, biodegradable polymers, etc., etc. As a part of the whole of government approach, various ministries and departments are also actively promoting the blue economy for sustaining and sustainable ocean-based growth through several key initiatives. The national policy on blue economy optimizes maritime resources in fisheries, in tourism, in ocean energy, and in coastal infrastructure. Recently, Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated development projects worth over rupees 50,000 crore in Bhuj, which underscores India's commitment to lead in the blue economy mission. And the Mission Mausam is another major initiative launched by the Government of India to enhance the country's weather and climate resilience. And this Mission Mausam aims to equip India with cutting-edge weather surveillance technologies, with supercomputing systems, and with next-generation radars in order to ensure timely and precise forecasting. India Bio E3 policy, that is biotechnology for economy, biotechnology for environment, biotechnology for employment, aligns with the climate sustainability as well, promoting bio-manufacturing and a circular bioeconomy to support the net zero carbon economy and mission life. It focuses on advanced carbon capture and its utilization, climate resilient agriculture, and also the bio-based chemicals, while emphasizing public-private partnerships. I again emphasize public-private partnerships to enhance climate-friendly biotech solutions and generate employment. With this paramount work and investment by the Government of India with a focused approach in each of these sectors related to environment and climate change is itself a testimony to the importance of this sector. These investments reflect not only the urgency of climate action but also the country's strategic vision for a greener future.
Tattva thematic keynote address on delivering growth under net zero pathway, technology, policy and economic pathways for Viksit Bharat at 2047 was delivered by Dr. R.R. Sonde, Professor Emeritus, BITS Pilani. Tattva thematic panel discussion was on the topic Think Global, Act Local for Pro-Planet Collaborative Action, in which many experts participated. Experts were from BRICS Business Council Working Group on Energy, Climate and Green Economy, Secretary General, Carbon Markets Association of India, British High Commission, New Delhi, Embassy of Sweden, New Delhi. The celebration will bring together thought leaders, policymakers, researchers, young innovators, students and green startups to deliberate and showcase innovative climate solutions. Narrated by Manoj Mindkar and presented by Dilip Jha, this broadcast came to you from the Indraprastha channel of Akashvani, Delhi.